Sri Shambho Ramanatha, welcome to the third part of Shiva Purana. In the last two sessions, we saw how from the beam of light, the Jyotir Sthampa, everything came out. Everything now happens to be Brahma, Vishnu, and Brahma creating the universe. And last time we saw how Vishnu pervaded the universe that was being created by Brahma. Why does this happen? The universe has to be made aware and conscious. It has to be alive, for which Vishnu's sustenance Shakti goes and permeates every iota of this universe. Then in the Shiva Purana, it is said that the universe divided itself into two, into Akasha on top and Bhumi at the bottom. What this basically means is that the directions were formed. Imagine yourself in the middle of space, in the middle of two galaxies. You will find that in that space, no directions exist. There is no east, west, north, south, top, bottom, nothing. We are just rotating in vacuum. So when Shiva Purana says there was Akasha on top and Bhumi at the bottom, we have to understand that the directions were born. That the evolution has started. The evolution from pure consciousness to matter. Even though the whole Bhumi and Akasha are being created, the earth containing mountains and valleys and plateaus and deserts and seashores and oceans, Brahma is not happy. Brahma is not happy. So he meditated and contemplated even more, because he was not really finding it complete, his creation. Remember, Tejas, you have been practicing result-seeking meditation. The same technique was used by Brahma to visualize or to conceptualize, to get at the end of his meditation what was missing. He wanted to know, what is this feeling that he has, this uncanny thing, uncanny feeling that something is missing. Upon completion of his meditation, Brahma got the answer he was looking for. What was missing was the human being, like you and me, were born into this world. Why human? Brahma realized that there must be a potential on this planet which can grow and understands its divinity. The converse problem of having this potential of upward movement or moving towards the center, the core, is also that one can slip and fall into a bottomless pit of something that is completely opposed to divinity. In Sanskrit, it is called Andah Tamas, dark forgetfulness. So as you can move towards divinity, which means you are moving higher or into denser, more concentrated awareness, a human can also slip and fall into a dark abyss of unawareness. This is what potential means. You cannot have one without the other. So Brahma understands that now humans must be created, and that will be the missing link of this universe, when it can become aware of itself and understand something like Shiva Purana, the quest of every one of you trying to know who is the creator, where I came from, where my origin is, who am I or where am I, basically is the intrinsic quest of the universe itself. So Brahma decides to meditate again so that he can create eternal beings, which is what we all are, eternal. Of course, Bhagavad Gita extrapolates this and says that Nainam Chindanti Shastrani, we cannot, none of us can be destroyed by any kind of weapons. Fire cannot burn us, wind cannot blow us, water cannot drown us, or the earth cannot squash us, or the space cannot engulf us, any one of us, because we are the very speck of the universe itself, trying to understand who, what, where, when, how. Anyways, at the beginning of this Manvantara, 4 eternal Kumaras called Manasa Putras. Manasa Putra means sons born from the mental formations of Brahma. So there are 4 eternal Kumaras, Sanat, Sanatana, Sanandana and Sanat Kumara, who are born from the top, the crown of Brahma's heads. He then is believed to have 5 heads. So these 4 are born, probably one from each, except the central one. When they are born, Brahma says, now you will have to populate my creation. This creation of universe made by me must now have more humans. That is probably also the innate longing for sex, innate longing for, if you don't have a partner, even masturbation, because it is Brahma's will that his creation be populated with more and more human potential beings. But these 4 Kumaras who are born from the head of Brahma say that we are by birth Vairagis, meaning we are ascetics. We are not interested in sex and population and all those things. So we want to be immersed in the idea of Sada Shiva. We want to always be meditating on the eternal form of the Jyotistambha, the beam of illumination. We don't want to fall into the trap of making babies and all that. Please let us go. So the Brahma, the Chaturmukha Brahma, reluctantly gives them permission to go and meditate for eternity. Of course, these 4 Manasa Putras, Sanatana, Sanandana, Sanat Kumara and Sanata, keep coming back in various Puranas and stories of Indian history and Itihasa. After which Brahma feels very disappointed and decides that he must create more Manasaputras who can follow his desire of populating this earth. From his eyes are born Marich, who says that he too is Vairagi because he's come from Brahma. He chooses meditation over sex, goes away. From the heart of Brahma is born Bhrigu, who, when he is born, is already an old man. He too chooses meditation and says, I don't want to indulge in reproduction right now. From the head is born Angira or Angirasa. He too says, right now I am not interested in populating this earth, and chooses meditation. Vairagya. From the right nostril is born Pula, who also chooses meditation over sex and reproduction. No coitus for me. From the left nostril is born Pulastya. He also chooses meditation versus coitus. From the mouth is born Vasishta Rishi, who says, not now, Father. I want to achieve Brahmajnana. I want to get enlightened, and then maybe he too leaves. From his third eye, Atri is born, who also says, not right now, Father. I need to become enlightened first. So all these Manasaputras, these rishis who become rishis later, Maricha, Brigu, Angirasa, Pulastya, Pula, Vasishta, Atri, all of them go away seeking Vairagya, seeking detachment and enlightenment. Look at the difference in the theory of creation, in the Genesis, difference that exists in Sanatana Dharma and that exists in the Abrahamic theology. In the Abrahamic theology, that is in Judaism, Christianity and Islam, the world was created for Adam and Eve so that they could enjoy this universe. Here, Brahma is requesting, please make me babies. And all of them are choosing detachment over attachment. All of them are choosing meditation over indulgence. This is the basic tenet of Sanatana Dharma, where every living being is encouraged to be a Tyagi, to be a Vairagi, to be a meditator. That doesn't mean that you don't make money. That doesn't mean that you don't live a luxurious life. It just means don't be too attached. What we like to call as be in attached detachment or detached attachment. Padma Patra Iva Ambasa. Be like the drop of water on a lotus leaf, which is there but not sticking to the lotus leaf. It is free flowing. It is there attached but not there detached. This is the basic tenet of Sanatana Dharma. But this is not what Brahma wants. He's disappointed and confused. Then he contemplates, he does the result-oriented meditation again. And then realizes who it should be who will procreate and expand mankind. He is told that he must create a Prajapati. Prajapati, the word itself is very important for us to understand how every yuga's creation happens. In every yuga, there is a particular Prajapati. And this one has Daksha. I'm talking about Mahayuga. This one has Daksha as its Prajapati. Prajapati means the Pati, the father of all Prajas, all citizens. So he is like the first king of mankind. He is a king from whom all others are born and all others are governed. Right? So, before that, he says, I need to create Narada so that this universe can understand Bhakti. Narada is the embodiment of Bhakti, devotion. Devotion helps you make a choice between right and wrong. When you are devoted to Shiva, all you need to do is to ask yourself, what I'm about to do, is this right according to Shiva and Shiva Purana? Was it wrong in the eyes of Shiva? The moment you get the answer, your choice is made. That is why bhakti becomes a tool of choice in the emotional kind of people. After Narada, because the world needs to understand bhakti, Daksha Prajapati, of course, he becomes Prajapati. Later, Daksha is born. After Daksha, Brahma creates Kamadeva. Some people like to call him the Hindu Cupid, but Kamadeva is specifically created so that he can bring about mutual attraction between a man and a woman. If there is no attraction between a man and a woman, then progeny is not possible. You cannot have babies. The man has to be attracted to the woman, and the woman has to be attracted to the man. So the portfolio of doing this job is given to Kamadeva. After which Brahma reports to Shiva and he says, now I am satisfied, I am happy. But I am not in awe. There is some X factor, some oomph that is missing in my creation. Shiva asks him why. He says everything is so perfect, it is boring. Let me repeat that. Everything is so perfect that it is boring. Of course, all this reporting is happening to the Jyotirstambha, the beam of illumination, which contains all, including the Brahma. Suddenly, into Brahma's eyes, the beam of light appears to be like Ardhanarishvara. The right half being Shiva and the left half being Shakti. Ardhanarishvara. Both Shiva and Shakti appear before Brahma. Brahma is able to see and absorb the fact that what he is witnessing in front of him is nothing but the culmination of man and nature, Prakriti and Purusha. This is the truth of Ardhanarishvara. All of you know that in our Rishikula we worship Adi Shakti Natha, which is the name we have given to the Swarupa, to the form of Ardhanarishvara. I myself received darshana of my Guru as Ardhanarishvara, the female coming out of the male and showing me how the male and the female are but one, but they are here to show us, to teach us about Purusha and Prakriti. Without understanding the difference between Shiva and Shakti, Purusha and Prakriti, Brahma cannot succeed completely in creating a sustainable universe. What does that mean? If the universe has to sustain itself and move without receiving too much of external fuel, every universe, every creation, every destruction requires fuel, isn't it? Something has to fuel it. So what is the fuel of this universe according to Shiva Purana and our Trika tradition? It is the forever coming together and repelling of Shakti and Shiva, the male and female, the yin and yang, forever trying to merge with each other, running behind each other. That is why men, no matter how old they become, are still attracted to women, and no matter how old a woman is, she is also always attracted to a man because of the innate factor of uniting and combining with the other half. when man and woman come together briefly in the act of sex and they come in unison, there is an extreme deep sense of oneness. This is probably the beginning point of meditation itself, when unknowingly man and woman united as one, revealing the deepest meditative state of this universe and creation. So Brahma himself needs to understand who is Shiva and who is Shakti. I would like to just bring one more point and end today's session. This universe is so deeply embedded with Shiva, the potential, and Shakti, the energy of desire, the energy of knowledge, and the energy of action. So deeply embedded, so tightly woven with the potential of existence, probability, that it is impossible to see and separate the two. As you know, we have been calling our gurus Paramahamsas. If you understand the term Hamsa, swan, a special status is given to the swan because it is said in Sanatana Dharma that a swan can differentiate between milk and water combined. It will only drink the milk and leave the water out. This is called Hamsa Kshira Nyaya. Hamsa Kshira Nyaya. So, just as the swan is able to differentiate between milk and water which is mixed together, a true guru, a Paramahamsa guru, is able to differentiate between Shiva and Shakti, who are so intertwined to a normal, untrained eye that the water looks to be a part of the milk. So Shiva actually reveals the Ardhanarishwara form to the Brahma, who becomes the first Paramahamsa Rishi of this Manvantara. With this, we will stop today, make a small prayer, then I can take your calls.